Hello, this is Cascade. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the new announcement for the upcoming Godzilla anime. As you might know, there's not much to say, okay? Like, there's literally just one picture, but there are two things that are facts based on this picture. Number one, this will be a hybrid anime, like the typical story where humanity is threatened by a monster or kaiju or parasites or whatever. So a human, normally like a teenager or something like that, uses the powers of threat A to become stronger and to save humanity. That's like the most basic way to describe this concept. Normally, this is how it goes. They could be doing something differently. And number two, this is a fucking kid, right? Like it's not like a child. It's more like a preteen kid or whatever, who's going to have those powers. And based on those two facts, a lot of people have already decided that they don't really like this project, and basically they think that it's going to fail, crash, and burn. Now, do I think that Toho did the right thing by going with this type of concept? I would say that, yeah, they did. They did. Because they made two projects. Well, four total, actually. Because each movie of the Polygon trilogy had the chance to be better than the last and to be good, and none of them did. Well, the third one is better than the second one. Yeah, sure. But, like, should we praise that? No. Anyway, why is this a good thing? Or why do I think that it's a good thing, even if I don't like it at all? I'll get back to that later, by the way. So, since they have done all of this experimental bullshit that didn't work, I think, it's okay to go to something safe. The fact that this is new for the Godzilla franchise doesn't mean that's new at all in anime, to have this hybrid kind of thing. The most popular comparison that I could make that's like current would be Kaiju number 8, as expected, right? The thing is that because it's something that's so popular in anime culture right now to have these hybrid ideas, right? Like human mixed with something else, is that a lot of people will give this a try just based on that, right? And they recognize the Godzilla name. So it's like a little incentive for normies or like the general audience to come into the franchise and spend their time here, see if they like it, all of that. It's more like a gateway drug, to be fair. I said that I don't actually like this. And no, it's not because of gatekeeping. It's just, this is a concept that I've seen so many times already. As I said, the story could be different from all the previous iterations of the hybrid concept. But after the failures of Toho, do I believe that they will actually do something that's like worth watching? Something that will have like value on its own, besides, oh, okay, it's the same thing as before but with Godzilla in it. And like, as I get older, I'm only 26, which means that I have 4 years left until I fucking die, okay? But in these 26 years, I've seen this story. Like, I've seen it with Devilman Crybaby, Tokyo Ghoul, Parasite, Chainsaw Man, Attack on Titan. It's fairly common now. So, am I excited? How could I be excited, for this concept? Also, as I said, the main protagonist, will apparently be like a kid. Like, I'm not trying to pretend that I'm like this super mature person. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm not. But I just cannot relate to this like teenage power fantasy thing anymore. Like I just can't. Want to make it clear, I understand that we need to see the story to see if the character will be that, which is the easy way out, or if the character is going to actually, represent something else. For example, in Chainsaw Man, yeah, Denji is a teenager, but he represents the struggle of Gen Z. You could see it that way, right? Broke, unable to get a fucking house. Dating is dead. He barely has a dog, and that's all he can have. Um, just paying debts and paying for other stuff, that's not really his problem. Stuff like that. That to me is relatable. And so hopefully they will do something like that or try to. But again, if you go for shonen, it's highly likely that they will not do that. And Kaiju number 8 does this actually. It's about this 30-year-old guy who feels like he's a failure, right? Like he gave up on everything. And when he tries, he realizes that, like there's all of these younger people who are better than him at almost every single thing, right? And that's a struggle that I can relate to. I think a lot of people actually can, no matter how old you are, but of course the younger you are, the less you understand it, because you don't have that accumulated experience with that feeling. And while I hope they do something like that, I just don't see how you can do that with a character who hasn't even finished high school. If you are a G fan, you probably haven't actually watched this anime called Bocchi the Rock. You should probably. It's nice. It's about like this girl who plays the guitar and she wants to become a star, blah blah blah. Bocchi has the feeling that she gave up her best years. The guy from Kaiju number 8 knows he lost his best years. He knows he wasted his 20s. And that's the difference. That's a completely different feeling. And that's something that you just cannot give me in a show where you have a little fucking kid as a protagonist. You just can't. You lost that complexity, those layers of experience of life. And if you don't have that, what value do you have to offer me? Basically nothing. So the fact that they're going with shonen, in a way, it's a good thing because it's, like accessible for people, but at the same time, shonen is full of these tropes that people like me, for example, were tired of. The power of love, never giving up, the power of friendship, all of this shonen bullshit. Which, by the way, I just want to make it clear, it's not bad on its own, it's just that it's always executed in such a similar way. It feels very cookie cutter, you know what I mean? It's not that these things are wrong on their own, it's just that shonen tends to execute these themes in the same exact way almost every single time. Now, I think that this is one of the most important things I'm going to say in the entire video. The fact that I have seen this thing over and over again doesn't mean that you are like ignorant because this is the first time you're going to see it. Okay, it's fine if you watch this anime and it just so happens to be completely generic, but you still enjoy it. Okay, like it's fine because I'm 26. I've watched this kind of thing over and over again. You might be 22, 23. Who gives a shit how old you are? The thing is, maybe you never saw this type of story before, and to you it's like, great, so that's what matters. And I'll give you one more. I think that the fact that this might not be made for me is completely fine too. I don't have to like every single project, and I shouldn't. Then everything will be the same, right? It's not like I have like this huge taste. Like, yeah, I like some things, but we can't have -1 all the time, right? We can't have Hedorah all the time. What makes Godzilla vs. Hedorah special is that it's so unique. So all I hope for is that at least some people can like it, but not just because it's the first time they experience that type of story or concept. I hope they can enjoy it because it's like legitimately good. I think that they have to get there at some point. And it's okay that if this is not the project where that happens. All I really want from this is a good opening, a good OST, and hopefully a cool Godzilla design that looks cool in 2D. Okay, that's like the bare minimum I need for myself to say this is a net positive. But also you have to keep in mind that if this fails, if this is not good, the more of these projects fail, the less likely we are to get a new attempt. Okay, so that's also one of the main reasons why I think some of us are worried about this. So that will be it. Okay, please like, share, and subscribe. I hope this helped you understand why some of us are feeling so weary about this instead of being hyped. And if you are a fellow cynic and you feel like there's a point that I missed on why some people might, hate the idea of this anime being, the next project, let me know. Just, I think I said everything, to be fair, but I'm open to any feedback. And yeah, that would be everything from me. I'm Cascade. You can follow me basically anywhere with the same username. Happy holidays, guys, and have a nice day.